Hello and welcome to episode 19 already. In the last one, which is for me 2 days ago because I did a little bit of a break, we have seen a very big fight over Jupiter and we crashed the fleet of the aliens into Mars. In honor of the Fallen, I have renamed this base to In Honor of the Fallen, which is roughly at the position where the crash was. So the crash was, if I remember correctly, roughly about here. And of course, would be awesome if you could get something like some story event or something. If something like that happens, that would be so cool. Yeah. And what we're going to do now is we are going to, of course, wrap up the whole business on Jupiter, as there are basically only stations left, and then 3 stations are left, and a lot of ground bases. So we are going to wreck the base, the Jupiter economy here. We're starting with Io, which is the biggest resource income for them that they currently have. And then we go to the other bases and continue our job there. So, and afterwards, we have to fly somewhere, probably Saturn. And I also have to build a second fleet that will clean up Ceres. There's another objective for us here. Ceres here, this one, and Vesta. And we also have to clean up the other asteroid bases that are in the belt here, because there are, of course, also fleets that need to be taken out. So there's, for example, here in Lorelei, and on Merapi, there are fleets that are too strong that we have to eventually take out. And I think we do. So we have 2 options. We could either fly with the Titan group from... No, Titan group, not Titan. The Jupiter group here. We could just take the ships here and fly like to Saturn or something. Or we fly somewhere else. But I'm not 100% sure yet because I didn't make a final decision. It also depends a bit if the aliens will maybe move out. However, the next objective will be the helium-3 mine. That we need to get this one going here in the ring hab as soon as it's done. And from there we can, of course, fly freely, because right now we are constrained by our missiles. Meanwhile, I'm going to guide all research into the Inertial Confinement Fusion Reactor, also Accelerando to finish this one up to unlock the 7 reactor here, Inertial Confinement Fusion Reactor 7. And from that one, so we are going to go for 6. This will unlock the drive. Let's see. How is it called again? That will unlock the Protium Nova Torch. That's going to be the endgame drive for us. So we are going to go for this and then build another fleet of Titans on that design. And that's going to be the ones which will probably clean up Neptune, because Neptune is too far out for our current drive tech. So maybe even Uranus and Neptune, I'm not 100% sure. Which would point towards that we maybe fly to the belt first and clean up everything there, and then we fly outwards. But I have to see, I'm not 100% sold on anything here. There are some stuff flying to the belt here. Yeah, but eventually they will panic and start to fly home to the base of Mengpo when they think that they are losing. Which should be soon, because they have 450 ships left. We crashed 400. Or crushed 400 in the last episode. Or a bit more than 400 actually. And they only have 80,000 firepower left. If we compare that to us, we do have only 22,000. But the other fusion titans that are going to come in will also have a very high combat rating eventually. However, we also have a mission control problem. And that's why I'm going to send a few titans here, 5 only, to Mercury. And on Mercury, we are going to take over everything that is there. So all the bases they have. Probably we are going to first take out the fleets from the servants here. Shouldn't be a problem. There's also one damaged monitor here. That's also not a problem. But yeah, we go for, let's say, not on a super hurry. So 6 weeks sounds great. And then we just take over Mercury. I think I'm going to do a big jump forward because there is not really a big challenge here currently. If there's a big fight, I'm going to show it. Until then, I'm just going to keep going for now. On Earth, we do have no mission control left here. One left here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Yeah, so we are basically out of mission control on Earth. That's not cool. But yeah, but what shall we do? We can still take over Madagascar here, some islands. We can take over Thailand eventually. But that's more or less all of it. Yeah, this islands here we can also still invade. Probably I'm going to do this eventually. Not right now. We are pushing government here to get rid of the hostile cause and eventually get past the 5 government score. But I don't think that will happen in this campaign anymore because this is super slow. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's just jump forward here. So Jupiter here barely has any fuel. If we were to start flying to Callisto here, we would need to... Yeah, it would take 4 weeks. 3 weeks. I think I'm going to wait for a bit more missiles here to get to a higher KPS rating for my main fleet. Actually, we don't need all of them. We can just go with the Phaser Titans here because they have 1,000 kilometer range. Go. Then we just have to refuel the phasers here, Jupiter. Then we can take out the battle stations of these shipyards they have there, and that should be totally fine. So that's what I'm going to do. Wrap up the Jupiter business in no time. So I'm going to just jump forward here. Okay, here we are a bit further down the line. The Jupiter purge is almost done, so there are 1 base on Io left and 3 on Ganymede. But we currently have to repair again. I split up my Marines into 2 batches, but they have to now heal again and get repaired before we can continue. And I also made a decision about what we are going to do with our fleet from Jupiter. So I'm not going to go to Saturn, although for a long time I was contemplating it. Instead, I'm going to go for one of the main bases of the aliens here at the belt. Probably it's going to be Aspasia. There's not a lot of stuff left currently, but they are sending stuff to Mars. So there is a fleet flying towards Mars currently. It's this one here. Something is flying to Mars here. And it's only 29 ships, so that isn't really a problem because we do have our defense titans. We're currently a bit lighter because we only have 25 left here. But there are more coming in pretty soon due to the fact that we are constructing a few more here. So a few Phaser Titans and Marines are actually finishing up today. So yeah, it's no problem. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. We're going to merge them in. With that, we should be pretty fine in regards to defeating that incoming fleet. I'm also sending a small batch of ships to Earth here. That's this fleet here. Due to the fact they have started to build a station here. An alien garrison station, a surveillance station. I want to take this out before it manifests itself. So we're going to do this and maybe we can put up something on Earth again. Also, the Mercury purchase done. I didn't take all bases, just a handful where I wanted to take it. I could still take the others if I really want to, but I'm not sure currently. We don't have that much mission control that we could invest here, or rather the mining modules. I intend to also take 1 or 2 bases on either Ganymede or Io. I'm not 100% sure what we are going to need later, but we are going to save up some resources for now. And these Mercury bases were relatively expensive, and I didn't even build them properly. So, for example, this one only has settlement tab due to the fact that these mining modules are extremely expensive. Yeah, so we are going to use our fleet, go back into the belt, and purge the alien bases that are prominent here, which are not a lot actually. So we can probably, yeah, aliens, and then locations here, inner. Aspasia, Ceres. Yeah, it's going to be Ceres and Aspasia that we have to purge, and then Lorelei and Merapi. It's gonna take a while, but we can buy time with that to get the inertial confinement fusion reactor 7 and the protein nova torch. So ideally we can hold Jupiter and the asteroid belt, and then we have fast ships to fly to the really far away planets here. There's also a assault carrier coming, we don't care about it, but yeah, it's going in the right direction currently. The fleet count though, let's see, how's the fleet count? It's up to 470 again, but it will go down as soon as we fight again, which is going to be soon. So let's jump forward until we have to do the defensive fight. Okay, we are going to have our defense of Mars here. Meanwhile, the aliens are rebuilding bases further out in other systems, which is fine.
They'll stay loyal to the
Me.
cause. I will help them.
Oh, we have to trade with the initiative.
Making contact.
So we're going to continue bribing them,
You want to, so long as you
just to
keep
be
out
able
of our
to
affairs.
eventually get some more missiles out of them whenever we can. Here we go. There is the fight. The fleet has arrived, and we can 28 of our Titans versus 20 ships. So let's check the auto resolve. Relatively straightforward. We're going to do it manually though. So as usual, we go high wall. And I think I only go 400 here due to the fact that we have mostly. We do have some coil guns actually. So 400 is probably fine. We go, of course, into attack posture here. Focus down the Titan. Also go in lock on. And let's see what happens here. If they flank, they are going to be toast. Actually, we shouldn't go lock on target, because if by chance the one we are targeting goes flanking, then we would spin around, which is not ideal. Yeah, so a few ships are trying to flank us. That's like the worst idea they can have. We know that already. Let's see if that's okay for the point defense here. Is that in too much, or is that okay? Seems to be okay. If it gets closer than this, we have to retarget. Switch focus. Yeah, it's okay. Nothing to be worried about. And the flankers. Ooh, that's a lot of flankers actually. A lot more missiles apparently. We're gonna stop targeting actually, because the flankers have priority here. Ooh, these are even coil gun ships. The small ones here. So let's see, is that... That's a lot of torpedoes again. Okay, the flankers are dead. Let's actually go defensive here. There we go. And that's no longer a problem now. Perfect. Now we have to focus here straight forward. And the Titan is already taking damage. So that's good. Can they shoot down our mech shots? Yeah, they can. But I think our main cannons are also now in range. Ooh, we took quite some damage here. Final caller is offline. Okay. For whatever reason. Sure. Oh yeah, let's just speed up, because this is just waiting it out. Maybe we lose a Titan here. It would be unfortunate, but can happen. Okay, the Titan on their side goes down. And now the others probably are going to die relatively quickly. Due to the fact that now a lot of point defense is gone from the Titan. A lot of these ships had actually missiles, so they are not really helpful as well, or either. Okay. can just enjoy the fireworks here. Not really interesting. Not really very fascinating either. Okay, now we are in close combat, so we are dealing tremendous amount of damage with the small Titan lasers here. And not these ones, these ones here. The small ones. 60 centimeters. In this close range, they deal a lot of damage. Good, perfect. We have 2 ships that are heavily damaged. We throw them in the shipyard. Actually, there are 2 escorts somewhere. How to resolve the rest here. 13 exotics. A lot of officers again. Not gonna complain. 5 weeks? Really? Okay. So you go out. Okay, it's just these 2. Very, yeah. But in the end, we are just going to wrap up the repairs here, continue forward, and also the Jupiter stuff, of course, is done. Now I have to repair and then decide on a target, but probably it's going to be Merapi. Okay, a quick update before we go into the ship design for the inertial confinement fusion reactor. We have now reached 2 things. First of all, we flew to Merapi, took it out. We are abandoning the station here again, so Merapi is actually in the hands of the Exodus, yeah. And the Belt fleet now went forward to Aspasia. And we are going to take out the base on Aspasia here. And meanwhile, we have formed up a group of ships here around from Jupiter that we have sent to Titan. Not Titan, Saturn. And we have actually docked here on Helene. We got attacked once. Now we are waiting for the shipyards to finish, which will still take a while. But in the end, not too fancy. Actually, I auto-resolved this. It was a smaller fleet that attacked us, but we took a bit of damage apparently. So probably they had lasers. And yeah, so the Saturn campaign, there's not a lot because I'm not sure where it went. I think 30 attacked me, but the others I don't know. And so we can basically get started here as soon as we have repaired in like 2 or 3 months. Which will probably be in the next episode. And yeah, now I'm going to just... Ooh, Skylings. For the Arab League. Check this out. We could either get Education 0.1 or GDP and Inequality Reduction. Let's get GDP and Inequality Reduction here. Go. Not a lot, but it's fine. Yeah. So basically that's our goal here in space. We are now at the point of... We are below 400 ships for the aliens now. There is an assault carrier fleet here arriving in 40 days as well. But we do have a small fleet waiting for it. The Earth Recovery fleet here. Which is also 30 Titans by now, which is half of the fleet from Mars that are transferred there, and the stuff that was on Mercury and went now here. But yeah, we have also the Earth home station here under construction, which is basically done. There is one interesting thing, that there is a fleet flying towards Jupiter. I decided to not do anything about it. So where are you? Oh, something is flying to Io again. Oh, and 60 ships are flying to Aspasia in 850 days. What the hell? 61 ships. So we have to intercept these guys here in the very late game, because Aspasia is going to be done in a second. Ah, there we go. We have now started to go after the alien admin here. So that's good. We're going to heal up, and then we're going to continue. The benefit here is that that Angola here has a lot of claims that we can take. That's exactly what I want to do. And then we work our way towards the final objective here on Earth as well.
Target secured.
Yeah. So let's jump forward about 2-3 months until the inertial confinement fusion reactor is done and the protium nova torch as well. Okay, and here we go. We are going to reach the 2 technologies that we
Offering
want to win the
support.
campaign.
Offering support.
And ooh. So we can't this time. We can't. At the academy we had this event 2 times, I think, in the Nigeria country when we played Africa only. Not Africa only, but like Middle East Africa only. Yeah, can't take it, sadly. Good, the 2 technologies are done. Go into 2 things that I want. Global Empire here, right, for the control points. And I also need a bit more as soon as possible, so management research, here we go. Meanwhile, we just go back into global techs a bit as well. So, now, the new drive. Let's take our Phaser Titan. We are going to call this the Endgame Titan. Version 1. We are going to upgrade to a hybrid armor as well, just to see what it does. Then we are going to change the drive to the inertial confinement fusion reactor. We can actually delete all of those here. I don't delete, but obsolete them. And then we do have the protium nova torch here. Of course, we go 6 here. We probably don't even need 6. Yeah, probably we don't. Yeah. 230 milli cheese acceleration. That's insane. That would cost us 11 exotics to build this beast. Let's see, the main cost is probably... No, it's actually not even that. So it's the... Yeah, it's the phasers, actually, which are costing this much. So we could make 10 of those. Don't know. We can reduce the cost a tiny bit by decreasing the acceleration. Let's see. If we were to go from our shipyards at Mars, so low orbit, to Bangpo, how long do you take to get there? So, biggest problem is of course the KPS, so we also have to increase this now. I think we should aim for 300. Seems still low. 8 weeks. Let's see how far we can get it. 20 weeks, really? If we excessive on... That's quite funny. The question is, do we want to have this as excessive as it is? So we could go down to like 205. I think there are still modules that we currently don't use, which is, yeah, exactly here, the hydrant trap. So you get the hydrant trap here. That boosts us up significantly again. Oh, I still have to research ECM3. That's annoying. So we are down to 16 weeks now. You can also remove 1 and replace it with the Muon Spiker here. Get another 10%. We don't need that much fuel anymore. Let's aim for 25 weeks. Like this. 100 kps. Really? So that would be a thing. We still miss one of the KPS modules here. So we have the Hydron Trap, but the upgrade of the Muon Spiker I think is with antimatter, which we don't have available. Do we want to make this? I think I do, but I have to be a bit careful with the phasers. So I want to make at least 10 of the marine classes, rather 12. So I'm going to refactor those into this design as well. By the way, the hybrid armor is good because it gives us laser damage reduction. So the only thing that currently can damage us is lasers. Or a bit of particle, but this is still pretty nicely reduced from this. Okay, so I'm going to go through the other ship designs as well and see what we can do about them, and then we can consider what we want to buy with our exotics here. So yeah, I have made the ships, all of those that we basically had here already with the Z-Pinch fusion. We now have the Inertial confinement fusion. We now have a massive drive here with a lot of acceleration and a lot of KPS. That's a lot of resources we are going to throw down the drain, especially exotics. But we just want to win the campaign now in a reasonable time frame. So they are going to be constructed. I still need a few, or a bit more exotics here to get this done. But in the end, I am currently flying around a multitude of things. So here we are repairing. So we are going to start the Saturn campaign very soon. The belt will fly to the next station as well in a few days. And our Earth recovery fleet is actually flying Ceres. So we're going to arrive here as well and probably get some exotics from assaulting Ceres as well. Where does it put us afterwards? So we have most of the alien admin gone on Earth. We can still... They will probably respawn, but it's fine. Ceres is on its way. Vesta is just very quick because there is only the servants, not the aliens actually. On Saturn we are already in, so there's not a lot of fleet left. We just have to take out all these bases over time. That will be possible, and I'm not too worried about it. I think the fleet that we are constructing now will actually go to Uranus. Maybe directly to Triton, who knows? And then we're basically done. So maybe the next episode is already the last one. We don't know. Interesting is that we do have one big fleet flying to Jupiter and one big fleet flying to Aspasia. They're both relatively slow. And Lorelei has to be taken out as well, right? What's that? Doesn't matter. But this one here, flying to low Jupiter orbit, trying to take out our Helium-3 station. And then this one flying to Aspasia. They are both super slow, so we don't need to deal with them right now, but we have to at least consider it in some way. Ooh, there's 56 ships on Triton. Yeah, but we are also down to 350 alien ships now. So the numbers are falling very fast. And also we are up to 25,000. We are almost halfway there. And the big question is, when do they trigger the retreat? Don't know. They're flying here. Yeah, they're flying to the main bodies yet. Let's see. We're definitely going to see a change in that, unless we are just too fast already. And with that, I'm going to make a cut in this episode. We have really researched everything we need now. It's just for fun now. On Earth, we don't really need to do anything else as well. We do have a mission control problem. Currently have around 100 mission control free. We, however, need 170 for the ships that we are constructing. So I'm not sure how to squeeze that in. I mean, of course, we're going to get a command center here on the Saturn's Hope. The fastest thing maybe would be to make a few stations in Earth orbit, actually. We don't really have a fleet around Earth anymore. However, we could just put something into Leo 2. Probably a good idea. I think I'm going to do this between episodes. Put 5 stations, maybe 6 stations in Leo 2. And get some stuff going there. I'm also considering to add the administration complexes here for additional mission control, although we have to invest into boost afterward. But why not? We get 2 additional mission control and some control points for Earth. So that's an option if we want to take something else out. For example, if the aliens flip more stuff in Africa, we could expand the Great Bantu State here. If we want to. Yeah, we still want to take this one over as well. So a lot of options here. And leave a like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode, which might be the last one.